Where do you want me to look? You want me to look center or this camera or that?
Just look at me.
Okay. My name is Chris Vallee, and I'm team manager and engineer for Fast MD Racing.
How did Fast MD Racing come together?
So Jay Zielinski introduced me to the guys from Fast MD that were interested in getting into racing. Once an Audi TCR car became available, they purchased it about a month before the Daytona race. 2 weeks prior to the race, we actually got the okay to do the Daytona 24-hour weekend. In that 2 weeks, we basically did as much as we could to the car and got it ready for Nick and James and Jay so we could race at Daytona.
So how did the race at Daytona break out?
So most of the guys that were on the car were guys that I'd already worked with before, except for a few. So we used a lot of the guys that we had from our other race programs to help kind of have this program gel very quickly instead of bringing in a bunch of unknowns. That helped with the car being good, straight off the bat. Car mechanically is perfect. It's a very easy car to work on, so that kind of helped us with the ability to not have to worry so much about the mechanical stuff on it. Great drivers that were giving me really good input, so I really could do my job the best. On our last stop, what we tried to do was be the first person to stop, so if a possible yellow came out, we would then be in the front of the pack. We did 2 tires in our last stop, which I think gained us a lot. We had a 15-second lead at one point to second place. But when we did send James out on that last stop, he actually was right in the mix of the GS traffic. Him over the radio. He wasn't very happy with what we did, but eventually once the pits cycled through, we were in a great position. what we did is put him in all the GS traffic, unfortunately. It wasn't really planned out that way, but for what we were trying to accomplish, it just sort of happened. Basically, being the last pit, being there for the least amount of time, being the first people to pit was our biggest strategy. That's why we kind of planned out our last fuel fill to equal out to just front tires. The TCR car is a front wheel drive car. It doesn't really use the rear tires very much. So in reality, you don't have to change the rears as much as you change the fronts. So all we did was basically do 2 front tires and kind of matched it to about 30 seconds is what it takes to do a tire change. Once we knew it would be about 30 seconds of fuel, we did 30 seconds of fuel, 2 tires, and sent them.
For the result, how would you gauge the result of Daytona from everything coming together in 2 weeks?
And finishing third with all the RS3, all that's PCR. The fast navigator racing number 1 division, Nikolai, Jim Vance, and Jared Solinsky.
I was hoping for a top 5. I thought that would be kind of a win for us. To be on the podium was pretty incredible, and to be the top finishing Audi was a big deal. The Hondas are fast, the Hyundais are going to be fast, the Alphas are fast. The Audis kind of been in this series for a little bit, and not exactly the 100% fastest car out there, but as far as reliability and ease to run as a race team, it's a great car. But for us to be sitting on the podium or standing on the podium was pretty incredible. I don't think anybody really felt that we were going to be a threat necessarily, since not for our drivers, but because we were such a new program. We have 3 great drivers with James and Jay and Nick. James and Nick are going to be going for the overall championship this year, and I think that there's really no better driver pairing than them. And Jay coming in and helping out for the Daytona race was perfect.
Saturday, Daytona 5K run and fun walk.
Absolutely, yeah, we have a lot of pictures. There you go. Yeah.
All right, boys, bring it together.
Come on, man. There we go. Come on, Chris. Yeah. Who makes this happen? CV.
Heck, you too.
Daytona.
Podium at Daytona in a 72-hour program.